I made Master proud again. I followed a gut instinct instead of a logical conclusion. Since I had virtually nothing to go on and no way to recover more information at the moment, it was my only rational course of action given that I wished to complete this quest as swiftly as possible. The sooner this was resolved, the sooner things could go back to normal? What was normal in the Master's world? Abnormal was normal, and normal was abnormal. Apple Pie had felt familiar, so I'd gone where I felt she might be. Sweet Rock Acres outside of Ponyville. I knew the location. Larjack had a habit of going out on a balcony and staring in its direction. I didn't know how long I had before Master summoned me for whatever he wanted next. He could be anywhere, doing anything at any time. Sometimes I barely had a chance to rest before he called me again. Sometimes I had enough time to practice 80 knee spells before he came back. Almost made me wonder what he was doing at that moment. Hello, ponies of Trotko Napon! To help teach my adorable and wonderful minion Fluttercruel that chaos is about making yourself feel good, and making others miserable is a means to an end, not an end into itself. I, Discord Sama-san-kun the Super Kawaii, have selected, via the precise science of blind dartboard tossing, you fine miserable ponies whose ancestors I had to enchant to keep from committing mass seppuku. All I did was make the whole country a cheesy, plawless samurai fic. I just don't know what went wrong. Yes, you fine ponies who spend every day, it seems, just waiting to die and continue to have children out of a sense of tradition more than anything. You've become utterly indifferent to my games and seem to rush towards my little princess and Angry Pie with open hooves whenever I come to visit, and have only encouraged her behavior. So you're getting the Super Discord Deluxe Special. You lot over there are now cat filly ponies. Nice bell collars, cute cat ears, and all those other cliché cute feline things. Perfect. And you, good pony, let's give you some scales instead of fur and a really long neck to bite up your psyche and give each one a head. Ta-da! The world's first hider pony! I we they are very a little kinda confused, angry, scared yeti! You go over there in sailor uniforms, you girls. Stand up on your rear hooves, readjust your spines, give you opposable thumbs, and ta-da! Anthroponies! What are these round things on our chests? And where are you, cute little foals running drum? Let's see, and there. You look right out of Generation 3.5. Oh, that takes me back. And talk backwards. And you there now resemble my cousin Pony Fulu. Maybe later I should have you fight the Hydra Pony after making you about the size of buildings. You ponies love your giant monster fights. And next we have transparent hug and nuzzle happy slime ponies like you see on some websites. Hey, stop hugging me! Now, princess, no weapons. Now where was I? Oh yes, since I made a bunch of mares cat filly ponies, I'll make you guys dog colt ponies. Be sure to play nice with the fillies. Got no bone to pick with them. You too. What sour looks on your faces. I know. Ta-da! Kitsune ponies. Oh, looks like you love confusion and mischief as much as I do. Almost. Nice to see some ponies seeing things my way for once. I should have done that one sooner. Don't think I didn't see you crack a smile for a second there, my little Fluttercruel. Rapid fire. Android May pony. Observation. This is most illogical. Duh, that's the point. Next, you sneaking around the street corner. And now you're fluffy puppy ponies. So round, huggable, and soft. I think you might actually be copyrighted. When have the copyright gods ever stopped me? Aren't you adorable?
I feel so puffy and light. Anybody want a hug?
Oh, don't grimace, Fluttercruel. Enjoy the ride. And you four, Chinese dragon pony. So many legs. The four of you won't mind sharing one brain, right? And the coup de grace. And the coup de grace. You, hiding under the upside-down tree. Nice mare, brave mare. You get the special honor. And Alakazap! Since when is exploding a special honor? I didn't explode her, my princess. That's boring. Look.
Oh my, 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 oh my!
What the grandma? If you're curious what you are, you're called Reese's. That's the species name, not you, the person, or rather persons now.
Oh my, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear! What's this? What's this? Don't hurt me more. Change me back. Wow, I can fly. I feel pretty. I'm a stallion now? Why aren't we all the same color? It's a bad dream. A happy dream. Which one of us is the original? I think we all are. This is cool. This is creepy. How's my cold friend gonna accept us now?
I guess you could use a few more to have a viable population model.
You had to open your big mouth. Sorry. Maybe this way we all get to still be with him. I'm a guy now. Maybe some of him will be fillies. That's beside the point. Leave him alone. Zap him. How can you see that? Don't want to be alone. Every pony run. Every pony scatter. Every pony stand together. Every pony rush at him at once. Every pony go off in pairs. Everyone cluster together. Stop it. You're all crazy. You're crazy. If everyone else but us are crazy, does that make us the crazy ones? Don't worry about having identical egos. You'll individualize sooner than later. Now then, my recreated races, new species, and sideshow freaks. A parade in my honor, and more importantly, that of maybe my minion learning a bit more about the many unique wonders of chaos. Look deeply at my waving swirly beacon now, get in a rough, vague, ill-defined line, and forward. We'll all have a swim with the self-animated inflatable pool toy ponies afterward.
And remember, no more anger. Your world is happy and mundane. Just has the marching tour gates and dancing water coolers. Flare Girl couldn't help herself anymore. She laughed. Anywhere, doing anything at all.
My little pony, my little pony. Ah, my little pony. Their friendship was bright as could be. My little pony. Of course that was until they met me. Broken loyalty, after is done. A greed-filled heart, not to everyone. Spreading cruelty, was an easy feat. And tragedy makes it all complete. I have you, my little pony. Don't you know you're no longer very best friends?
So this is Sweet Rock Acres, huh? I don't know what I was expecting, but I have to say I'm kind of disappointed. No, I did not speak out loud. I'm not stupid. If a subject knows they are being observed, this will invariably change their behavior. But first I needed to find her. Stupid rock farm. Reargrade wasn't completely interested in these places. She only seemed interested in ripe rocks, however that works. How did these even work anyway? It was completely logical. Did Master make them grow and make the inside edible? Then why were rock farms in the books from the pre-chaos era? Isn't it rather hypocritical for such a logical pony to serve the antithesis of reason? People work best together when they balance each other. A logical pony is the only one who could serve a master who contradicts reason. Don't you mean ponies instead of people? The world is made up of more than just ponies. It would be self-centered. The rock fields went on for miles in every direction, ranging in size from boulders like Tom to pebbles. But there was a sense of loose organization to it. Patterns, like a classic Zen rock garden. I felt the slightest tingle of magic flowing through these lines. It's so sublime, however, I couldn't determine its nature with just a passive detection. My curiosity teased me again. Great, more complications. More details. I'll do that after I observe apple pie and gather enough information. And how do you intend to do that? With my eyes and ears, of course. And do you think you'll gather enough data by the time your master calls you back? What happens when he learns what you're doing? Do you think he'll like you prying into his private life? His little secrets? Do you really believe that if he thinks you'll learn something from her that he doesn't want you to, that he won't shut off the source? He did instantly send the six of you home after meeting her. And I'll never be at peace. Precisely. You need a more direct route. What do you mean? Ask her. That is illogical. She'll never answer truthfully and openly with one of Master's six after our purge of Ponyville. Correct. And, so what then? You can't figure it out for yourself, a smart pony like you? If she won't answer one of Master's six, then another must ask. But the fewer her know, the better. And I don't have time to collect a proxy. Therefore, I must ask. This is a contradiction. You're overthinking things. Simplest solution? Apple Pie just need not know she is speaking to one of Master's six. Correct. Then the correct spells needed are obvious. Correct. It shifted today. As the saying goes, nothing else to it. I've had since the beginning of everything to expand my library of magic. I've replicated magic from unicorns, vergacorns, pegasi, hippogriffs, and changelings. I retrieved the necessary spell from my mind, adjusted my own magic to cast it, and picked the most appropriate form I could imagine. I magic up a mirror to check my looks. Remember, I can't use that kind of magic in this form, and use a nice nearby puddle. Perfect. Now to trot into the rock farm and find the source of my contradictions. Let's see. Several barns full of rocks, a farmhouse, a tool shed, an outhouse, mostly made of stone blocks. Rock tools neatly organized. Rocks of all shapes and sizes. Drab gray rocks, bright-colored rocks, plaid rocks, night-glow rocks, pony-eating rock... Wait, what? The pony-eating rock opened its jaws, revealing its long, pointy teeth, its tongue drilling at me. It had no eyes, but I knew it was looking right at me. It made an intelligible noise that I think meant it was hungry. Why wasn't I moving? Why wasn't I moving? It opened its jaws up bigger and reached out, and its tongue was slowly wrapping around me. Here, boy! A stick of dynamite arced through the air and went straight into the pony-eating rock's mouth. It made a noise of surprise and exploded, forcing me to cover my face for protection. Can't regenerate where the subject might see me. An earth pony filly with an orange mane galloped next to me. She had a pale pink coat, like most ponies nowadays. I noticed her cutie mark was a bundle of dynamite. She pulled down a pair of goggles around her neck. "You okay?" she asked with polite concern in her voice, greeting me like an old neighbor. She was talking to me? "I'm fine. Being eaten once was bad enough." "Hey, what did we tell you about your kind coming round here?" said another filly, this one with a white mane and light gray coat, but decidedly young. Her cutie mark was jackhammer. The gray filly stomped over to the former giant pony-eating rock, which was now several little pony-eating rocks. The small horde took one look at the second filly's face and managed a good job of looking afraid at her stare. The second filly grinned. "Or maybe you want to see how many of you can fit into a rock pie?" The small horde of pony-eating rocks broke into a panic and hopped away as fast as their non-existent legs could carry them. "And don't come back!" the first filly shouted at the retreating avalanche. Then she gave a small kick to a random boulder hard enough to form a small crack in its surface. "You too!" And the rock formed a frowning, fanged mouth, and got up on comically thin legs and skidded away, following the avalanche. I felt my jaw drop from my face. "Sorry about that! Annoying buggers!" said the filly with a T&T cutie mark and a slightly higher than normal volume. "I'm cream pie. I blow stuff into cream." "You don't say," I replied. "And this here bundle of sunshine is banana pie." Howdy, said the Gray Filly, giving a quick salute, kicking her hooves together. Welcome to Sweet Rock Acres, they both explained, their yell almost knocking me off my hooves. The first pony crossed her forehooves and smiled, while the second one smirked. What can I do for you for? Cream Pie asked. I'm looking for a filly named Apple Pie. Orange coat, green mane. I think her eyes are orange as gold. Why did that eye color feel familiar? And why did Cutie Mark Crusader's book editors keep popping into my head and making me shudder when I think of it? Sure we do. She's my little sister, Cream Pie answered, hopping up to me with a big smile. What business you got with her? She asked in a perfectly open and welcoming manner. 2 pairs of blue eyes looked at me brightly. I kicked my brain into overdrive. I heard how brave she was in Ponyville when the elements of chaos came to town, and I wanted to meet her. Their faces turned sullen. She shouldn't have even been there. Learning magic is mighty risky, said the filly whose special talent was apparently making things explode. If the Burger Crons want to get hurt, then that's their business, but Apple Pie should have known better than to get involved, added Banana Pie. All the same, I really want to meet her, I said. Banana Pie looked at my flank curiously. Ask Cutie Mark, what's it for? My Cutie Mark was now 5 white stars. It was impossible to truly fake a Cutie Mark, but a couple simple illusion and image spells let you at least cover up part of it. An old trick among celebrity ponies, but effective and more reliable than a sticker. It's for stargazing, I answered without missing a beat. The filly said nothing. Ponies had Cutie Marks for stranger things. Come on, let's take me your big sister. She's likely in a room, said Banana Pie. We trotted to the farmhouse. About the only thing not made of stone was the door and windows. From the sky, it probably looked unremarkable from above, which made it safer for them. Of course, Master would see that as a challenge. But Cream Pie skipped, almost bounced ahead, energized, while Banana Pie stayed next to me, taking in every detail. I'd be nervous if I could feel. I noticed scarring on Banana Pie's back. I couldn't tell if they were fang and claw marks, but it had been something big. We were just at the front steps when the ground rumbled. I felt it a lot sooner than I normally would have as a unicorn. The fillies kept straight faces and actually smiled a bit. The diamond dog took its bite out of the dirt, his crystalline form resistant to the dirt and grime he'd just been burrowing through. Peace, love, and mercy to all that lives. The diamond dog bowed at us. Howdy, Guru Fido! Cream Pie waved. Banana Pie gave a quick salute. Greetings, Earth Pony Cream Pie, Earth Pony Banana Pie. And what may this Earth Pony's name be? I asked. That's right, we didn't catch your name, Banana Pie asked, looking at me with a grin. Oh, Oh, are you surprised at Guru Fido? He's a diamond dog. He's a dog and he's made of diamond, Banana Pie explained. At least she didn't start jumping from topic to topic. Technically, my people are not made from diamonds, but do have a very similar cellular structure to diamonds and share the same physical resistance, the Guru corrected in a relaxed, calm voice. I knew all that. During the day of chaos, the diamond dogs, used to running from danger, dug deeper and deeper into the earth than they ever had before in the mad fantasy that they could escape Master. Meanwhile, the diamond dog's primary predator, the koala eels, were among the species driven extinct accidentally by Master's gains. Master turned them into balloon animals, if I'm not mistaken. No one called him evil for it. According to what information we were able to extract over the centuries, they had found a jewel buried deep beneath the ground, set in a chamber inside a series of tunnels clearly not formed naturally. The diamond dogs, being greedy and covetous creatures, had all reached for it, and so they all fought for it. The details differed at this point. Either the dome shattered, an unnamed diamond dog had held it for a moment and randomly thought of wishing to be smarter, an impression of the jewel's previous owners acted, or the jewel's magic itself was disgusted by their avarice. Regardless, in a flash of magic spreading through the tunnels, the diamond dogs became the living crystal beings they were now, from the highest alpha male to the lowest pup. For a couple of minutes they tried to kill each other, the rage for gems still driving them, but then they simply stopped and thought for a good 20 years. Turns out the crystal's energies had also increased their intellect and connection to the world at large, and with the koala eels gone and their being under Master's radar, they had the chance to stay in one spot and build their culture and civilization. Of course, this is all second-hand information. What do you mean, lecture mode? I had known all this already. The simple fact was I had forgotten to invent an alias. What is your name, Purple Earth Pony? Guru Fido asked politely. It's Philly, pony at the dawn of her life. Twilight, between day and night. Light, half-light. I'm Half-Light Dawn, I managed at last. It is a pleasure to meet you, Earth Pony Half-Light Dawn. The same, I played back. I began thinking of explanations for my reaction if need be. Guru Fido, you here for your weekly trade? Asked Cream Pie. Yes, my dear, I am. Okay, just a tick. Cream Pie galloped a short distance over into one of the barns. Hey, she called from within. What you doing in here? Resting? You got a bedroom for that! And out was kicked a third Earth Pony filly. She wasn't wearing that ridiculous white bonnet she had on when I first saw her selling rock in Ponyville. Cream Pie came out a minute later, carrying 4 baskets of rocks with a surprising amount of ease, even for an Earth Pony filly. Greetings, Earth Pony Apple Pie. Howdy, Guru Fido. Cream Pie hooked off the baskets to Guru Fido, and then tossed a couple smaller stones on top of the baskets. A little something for the missus and your litter, Guru Fido. Thank you, Earth Pony Cream Pie. The diamond dog then brought out several baskets of rainbow-colored jewels, which Apple Pie took back. Master had a love-hate relationship with the diamond dogs. They kept peacefully accepting every drop of chaos he threw into the universe, and were a lot harder to drive insane than ponies and would often forgive him whenever he'd torment them. Discord doesn't deserve forgiveness. On the other hoof, the resistance to damage meant Master could play rougher with them. Master liked to drive one crazy slowly over the course of a few years whenever he felt like he wanted a challenge.
Girafato, before you go, could you,
Of course, Earth Pony Apple Pie, Girafato replied with a somewhat sullen but still calm tone. He stepped off to the side, and he and the 3 pies all bowed their heads. I didn't want to stick out, so I bowed mine and listened closer. Magica, my friend, may your soul rest peacefully now that your journey is done, and may those who took you from us be forgiven for their sins. I felt a strange tightening in my chest. What was that? After ending his prayer, or whatever that was, the guru gave thanks again for the trade and dove back down, collapsing the tunnel as he went. You do business with the Diamond Dogs? I heard myself ask. Yep, Cream Pie said proudly, assuming a statuesque pose. Grandma said our ancestors were the Diamond Dog King Big Barkintosh. Curiosity came unbidden about that strangely familiar name. I'd like to speak with your grandmother. Oh, she and Ma got turned into dragons by Lord Master Discord and flew off and never came back. They do send lots of nice letters from Dracotopia, though, Banana said, not quite as deserved as one would expect. Cream Pie and Apple Pie bowed their heads for a second. Dracotopia. Oh right, after the alien invasion and the fall of Old Avalon, the dragons' memories were so damaged that for the first time in history, the dragons came together in the name of survival, becoming one flight under Queen Tiamat rather than just gathering with mates in the dragon migration. After 500 years, it was an ironclad nation with each of its citizens an army unto themselves and a sense of community unseen dragons before. They even watched over some of the ponies who were willing to swear their lives to Tiamat. Keep the world building in dialogue? What are you talking about? You make no sense. Are you related to Master? I see, I said, not knowing how else precisely I was to respond to that. So, who are ya? Apple Pie raised an eyebrow at me. He's half-flat down, little sister, Cream Pie said, patting me on the back so hard I almost staggered. I opened my mouth before they could continue. I heard about how you survived what happened in Ponyville with Elements of Chaos, and I wanted to meet you. I thought you were so— I struggled for proper wordage. Awesome, cool, and radical. Huh? Where did that come from? Aren't those the same thing? Banana Pie asked, blinking in comical fashion. Well, Terry they clearly ain't, responded back Apple Pie, who trotted forward. So let's all get formally introduced. I'm Apple Pie of Sweet Rock Acres. I shook her hoof. I'm Half-Light Dawn. It's a pleasure to meet you. Ditto! The sun came down. Dang, wanna come inside? I'll show you my room. Can we talk about what happened in Ponyville? Apple Pie startled. She looked hurt. It's kinda— well, it's not really— Please, 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 please. I'm gonna go crazy if I don't hear about it from you. The source. I can't rest until I hear it all from you. Pretty, please. I trotted toward her and leaned forward, and she leaned back as I got in her face. Well, maybe just a bit. I feel something inside me, like a burst of something. Light flowing, pulled up on my facial muscles. I began to bounce around her. Yes! The fillies all looked at each other, then at me. You okay? Banana Pie asked, tilting her head some. I stopped myself. I felt a strange warmth on my face. What had come over me? I was supposed to get answers, not more questions. Yes. So into the farmhouse we trotted, right past the statue of an old pony who Cream Pie waved at, while Banana gave another short salute. Good night, Grandpa Rock Pie. I'm surprised that I was surprised when the statue smiled and saluted back. Rock Pie's cutie mark would, of course, be a pie full of rocks. Inside, an Earth Pony stallion wearing a rough pink apron that matched his coat and a red mane waved us into where he seemed to be making stone soup. Next to him were a bunch of blanks with what could have been tiny cityscapes, but were in a box scribbled circuit boards. Howdy, girls! Who's your friend? Howdy, Dad! This here's the Half-Light Dawn, said Cream Pie, once more giving me a strong pat on the back. She came to see Apple Pie because she survived Ponyville, and she nearly got eaten by a rock. I thought we got rid of those things. He sounded annoyed. Don't worry, me and Banana Pie weeded them out, Cream Pie said happily, like it was any other farm chore. Thought I heard an explosion. Good job. The stallion then turned to me. Well, nice to meet you, Philly. I'm Apple Computer. That was a strange name. I saw his key mark was a keyboard, like a typewriter, and a screen with an apple on it. Care for some rock soup? I'm not hungry. Suit yourself. No pony asked where my parents were, thank Master. It was more than just the fillies, the grandfather, and the father in the farmhouse, which was not small for being made of stone bricks. How long had it taken to be built? In the hallway I noticed a couple of pictures that were faded, brittle, and slightly decayed that showed an earth pony on the cello with a music cutie mark, and a yellow earth pony mare with a heart, hammer, and wrench. What was familiar about them? The yellow one in particular just teased at my mind, but it was forgotten in the horde of relatives I was introduced to. There was a baby colt named Orangeburst and a toddler filly named Applejuice, who were the sons of Aunt Apples and Oranges, a middle-aged stallion named Uncle Crabapple, my young adult pony Dove's Blackbird Pie, a pair of fraternal teenage colt twins called Red Jack at 40th or something and Blackjack, fruit of the knowledge of good and evil, actually an adopted mare who was originally part of the Pear clan, Cherry Apple, a hippogriff named Cherry Pie, parents still wondering where she got those genes, Minty Pie, Rocky Pie II, and Hubble Pie. My head spun from the Congo line of names and faces, and a sense of being grateful I wasn't having food shoveled down my throat this time. This time, why was I even feeling grateful at all? I heard myself asking, is there a family reunion? Apple Pie shook her head. Cream Pie and Banana Pie had gone back to their chores. Apparently there was always more work to be done on a farm. Nah, not really. Just pays off to have some backup help, in case something happens to some pony. That was when I noticed as we peeked in rooms. For every 2 beds occupied, there was one that was empty. We got to Apple Pie's room. It was meant for more than just one filly. There were bunk beds on all sides of the room. Something told me the one with the camouflage patterned sheets and the hanging headband was Banana Pies, and the one with tools scattered about with a cherry bombs out of cherries book was Cream Pies. I noticed some of them were empty. Not that strange when you think about it, but just the way they were folded maybe, or how items were spaced around them, or the more empty than empty vibe they gave off, or how Apple Pie avoided looking at them. It told me a lot. I looked at the empty and preserved bed above next to the one Apple Pie sat on that I assumed was her own. Who slept here? You shouldn't have asked that. It doesn't have to do with your questions. I'm curious. Apple Pie grimaced. That made no logical sense. Where was the filly who'd laughed at Master's joke? Was this even the same filly? That there was Poison Apple's bed. Poison Apple? I tilted my head. Had I heard that name in a fairy tale? She was my sister. My twin. Her twin? The green-haired orange filly huddled close next to me. Be quiet. We can get out of here. This castle is always changing, but there's always a way out, I whispered to her. The filly's key mark was an apple with a green skull. What about those bad mares? She shuddered. She was covered in lashes on her back and face. Let me worry about them. Angry Pie turned around the corner and leapt at us. Maybe she smelled our blood. Found you! Got you! I blasted her through a wall. Hey, I never asked. What's their name? I smiled at her. It's Twilight Sparkle. Now let's hurry before more Discord appeared, floating in the lounge position. Now, Twilight, did you run off with one of Fluttercrew's toys? Poison, run! I shouted at her. I can't do it! She ran away as fast as her legs would carry her. All right, Discord. I gritted my teeth and lowered my horn. He snapped his fingers. Ready to obey your commands, my master. Be a dear and recapture that little filly running behind you that somehow escaped. Yes, master. I turned around and created several magical shackles made from my own mana. They flew towards the fleeing filly like cobras and clamped around her legs, dragging her back towards me. Miss Twilight Sparkle, what are you doing? I do not know any pony named Twilight Sparkle. You are confused. I am Twilight Tragedy. Angry Pie crawled out of the wall and punched me in the face. I don't try to understand her reasoning. Fluttercrow flutters past Master and I give the end of the chains to her. Angry Pie growled. She'll never laugh at me again! Fluttercrow smiled. She'll never laugh at anything again, soon enough. She created a meat cleaver from one of her feathers. I never laughed at ya! Cried out the unnamed filly. Liar! Angry Pie brought her hoof down so fast the filly's teeth flew. Dawn, you okay? You were in Breezyland, Apple Pie asked. I looked at her, and then at her key mark. Another sensation, like my chest was being constricted. I didn't like it. I asked, Apple Pie, so Poison Apple was your identical twin? How'd you know? It's just what every pony thinks when they think of twins. Oh, right, yeah. She was, then she got taken to LMCBB Discord's castle by Fluttercrow. She ain't the first taken to never come back. I see. I came to this filly looking for answers, but I was becoming only more confused. Thankfully, the subject was changed by the sound of a rather gigantic explosion from outside. Pa, what happened? Called Apple Pie, sticking her head out of the bedroom door, echoing through the stone house. Oh, just an old land squid wandered too close to the house. Don't you worry none. Cream Pie got him, called back Apple Computer, his voice as if it were a normal, everyday occurrence. Oh, okay, Apple Pie replied, then turned to me. Looks like the rock soup will have extra flavor tonight. No, I wasn't surprised that they were going to eat it. Ponies had given up their stigma about eating meat about 500 years ago, though cannibalism was still considered a taboo by most ponies. What surprised me was how they just rolled with it. A monster attacks the farm, they just blow it up and move on like it's business as usual. Was Master's world really so predictable that ponies considered this normal? It couldn't be. Ponies still panicked when Master sends a disaster down on them, unless they were either too badly broken or insane to care. But these ponies were neither. You wanted to know about Ponyville? Apple Pie finally asked, rousing me from my thoughts. Oh, yes, I did. Everything about it. Tell me. My best friend's name was Magica. She was a Virgacorn. She had purple stripes and Star Mark kind of like yours. I said nothing. She'd come by just by a tiny cherry pebble or two, but who she really came for was Cougar Fido and the other diamond dogs who come by. She'd spend hours at first just talking to him. She kept wanting to learn from him. One day, Cougar Fido couldn't make it. Ma suggested she help me with my chores, told me on clever like it would be something new to learn. So she did. She caught on by the end of the shift. So I asked her if she wanted to play. Turns out she was mad too tired for running and jumping, so we ended up playing games inside instead. After that, she'd play with me after she was done talking Guru Fido and I was done with my shift. Guru Fido then told her she needed to learn from other Virgacorns, not a diamond dog. She wanted to learn magic. Yeah, the forbidden fruit. Not my great auntie. She wanted to learn it, though LMCBB Discord didn't want ponies learning none of it. This is not the hippogriffs I'm trying to impose order on the weather. Yeah, so there she was, doing something crazy just wanting to learn magic. And the one kind of crazy LMCBB Discord doesn't lack. I wasn't surprised at her openness. Ponies had woken up from the fantasy of Discord rewarding those who'd betrayed their friends and family to him or expecting leniency within 200 years of Master's reign. So I was surprised to learn she thought the young mages might have been revealed to Master by a member of her own family. No, Master did not tell me how he learned. It didn't matter. He commanded and I obeyed. All I knew was that we hadn't had a snitch in over 700 years. We had occasional defectors, spies, and mad ponies in love with Fluttercrow, but not anyone who clung to the delusion that betraying a secret of someone they cared for would grant them anything from Discord except his attention. And only the ponies who were already mad or reckless sought that out. True, Ponyville was filled with mad or reckless ponies, but it was Master's most base policy to always let ponies know who had betrayed them when they had been betrayed. Preferably not only them, but the entire town on a gigantic TV screen. For some reason, he enjoyed having Trader Dash watch it when he did that. Sorry, that's ahead of the narrative. So, Gurufado introduced us to some Vergacorns who were looking for students. Tutor's name was Abstract Symbolism. I also finally got to meet Magica's other friends, Puella and Casta. They were siblings. Puella and Casta's family, it turned out, was looking for some place to live, and we'd always have spare pets, so we offered. Their parents just moved out. They said there were too many painful memories. Why'd you stay? It wasn't like Master didn't know where they were or had no interest in them. Memories stay with you no matter where you go. And it solves nothing. And my family needs me. I can't just run away. Puella and Casta were riot, butting all the time, but the moment there was something that needed doing, you'd think they were one pony. Staying plain amazing. Vergacorns, their magic ain't the same. I mean, the way magic works for one ain't how it works for another. I mean, they still follow the same rules, but it's like us Earth ponies. Every pony's magic is special. Yes, they are. Puella's magic could fix or make things, Casta's magic could break or unmake things. It was amazing. What about Magica? She was super amazing. She could look at any spell and learn it super fast. A tutor never saw anything like it. You keep saying your tutor, a Vergacorn, was teaching you Earth pony magic? It ain't impossible. I sure learned a lot more from symbolism than I did from my parents, but you can't tell him that, though. You have my word. Pinkamina swear? Cross your heart, hope to fly, stick a cupcake in my eye. I repeated the gestures and words, that sense of nostalgia again, but I was no closer to my answers. That's been in my family since forever. I'll take your word for it. So, what was it like around them? Around Magica, it was like everything could suddenly make sense. No matter how crazy things got, no matter what conductive boss Discord threw at us, she could make sense of it. And it just felt good to know some pony could make sense of it. Order out of the chaos, just like the stars. Yeah, something like that. For Casta and Puella, they were crazy, but in a good way. No matter what they disagreed on, they always came through. No matter how much they argued, they always arrived at a solution. Puella liked things pretty, Casta liked things rough. And when some pony else came down on one of them, they were always there to stand up for each other. They should have been enemies with how they acted, but it was like they were missing parts of each other and their sibling filled in. Crazy, but a fun crazy. The one thing they always agreed on was how much they loved each other and how much they loved their parents. I had to tell them what happened. I didn't ask about Magica's parents. I found myself thinking about Casta and Puella. Something seemed beautiful about how she described them. No, I have to get my question answered. And Poison Apple, she knew a whole dang lot about alchemy. Whenever she wasn't doing chores, she'd be reading. And I think I might have been her only real friend. She'd do crazy things to get them. The library in Ponyville, ponies who held on to really old books that were falling apart. She wanted to know. Where are her books now? I asked before I could control my tongue. Uncle Crabapple wanted to bury him, so we could at least have a funeral pyre. I got Dad to bury him. Didn't feel right to see him just gone. Where are they buried? Just in their house. You curious? Not about that. What were the right questions? What makes you laugh? Eh? Can you tell me, what makes you laugh? Why you want to know that? Think of a good lie, think of a good lie, think of a good lie. I just want to know. You can tell a lot from a pony from what makes them laugh. I think your pet would beat me to a pulp if she heard me say that. Okay. I guess I find things that make sense on their own, but when you put them next to each other, they suddenly don't make sense, though they made sense before. Those make me laugh. Contradictions. Yeah, that's it. And things like irony boards are funny, too. You mean irony? Oh, yeah. You sound kind of like Magica. Why are you laughing now? Her mouth was smiling, but her eyes were sad. Not logical. Because remembering Magica is gone is sad, but you remind me of all the fun I had with her, and those memories are happy. It's all so contrary, and how can I not laugh? She really was your friend, wasn't she? Why was I going on so many tangents? Counterproductive. Yeah, she was. How can a pony be smiling happily and have misty eyes at the same time? And she's gone, and she can still make me laugh and cry. It's like our friendship is magic. I respond without thinking. No, magic is tragedy. No matter how perfect or beautiful something is, it can all come crashing down. She giggled again. And there's another contradiction. What we both said makes sense, but when said together, they can't make sense. You're funny. We both make sense, but it's a contradiction. It's not supposed to make sense at all. I'm not trying to be. I'm not like Casta. He'd try to be funny, his jokes would all fall flat, but whenever he snarked, he was a riot. Jeez, here I go again. You know, normally when a pony goes away, you just say you're sad, accept they're gone, and move on. But now that I'm trying it, I don't mind thinking so much about them. You know, Puella's mom wanted her to be a florist. Her pa wanted her to be an archer, but she wanted to be a mage, no ifs, and, or buts. Her stubborn as an earth pony, like they say. You mean stubborn as a mule, right? A what? Never mind.
There have been members of Apple Pie's family who had the telltale larger ears, discolored muzzle, or a different tail, but I haven't seen an Earth pony in centuries who didn't have at least one member who showed some traits of the donkey tribe. In a way, this rendered Liarjack and Angry Pie to be as much outdated models as Trader Dash, Fluttercurl, Reargreen, and myself. Hey, you sad too? She asked. I don't get sad, I replied evenly, forgetting about staring in character, though I hadn't really put much effort into acting like a filly. It all just came naturally. Well, you look sad for a tick. No, I think you looked old. Had my transformation begun to revert? How? How? You remind me of the way Grandpa always gets, just staring out far away like you were in some big desert. Think, Master. It's nothing. I've lost stuff too. I tripped over myself. I didn't want to cover myself with answers that would just be bait for a curious child to ask questions of me instead of the other way around. You lost your family. It ain't something you can hide. And you lost your friends too. Friends? Comforting the crying Trader Dash and accepting a kind muzzle from Liarjack, talking with Spike. But Tragedy didn't have friends. Or did it? No, I still have some friends. What are their names? I came here to ask you questions, remember? I tried to steer things back on course. I wish I had brought something to write with. A donkey doll with her own matching notebook and quill flickered in my mind. Why did it feel so important? Wandering filly brain. So things that clash with each other make you laugh? Not really clash. I think the best way to put it is that they're things that shouldn't fit together but do. I haven't really thought about what makes me laugh. Do ya? No, not really. See? But there is this one verse that's mighty funny, I think. The weird thing is, every copy I've found doesn't say who wrote it. I invited, what is the poem? Apple Pie made a small cough and jumped on top of the bunk beds. Did you hear a lie that's completely true? Two brothers, only children both. At noon on the stroke of midnight, they stood back to back and faced each other. They drew their swords and shot each other. The paralyzed stallion clapped, the deaf mare heard it all, the blind mare saw it all, the numb pony felt it all, and the mute pony will speak witness if you don't believe. Apple Pie fell on her back, giggling. I looked at her and listened, and spoke calmly. I did not see the contradictions. The brothers could have been adopted. Whenever it is noon one place, it is midnight in another. They could have turned their heads to see each other while sitting back to back. Ponies have experimented with swords that double as projectile weapons. The stallion might have been a unicorn using magic to move his body. Maybe the ponies who were missing their senses lost them after the brothers shot each other. And there was an entire story based around the idea of a supposedly mutant pony who revealed to be perfectly able to speak when he needed to give vital testimony at a trial. Hey, you sound just like Magica again. She'd say the same thing. There are no contradictions, only reasons that haven't been discovered yet. All truths together would hold neither contradictions nor chaos. She'd keep yakking like a schoolma'am. Blech. Dang, I miss it. You say you miss it, but you sound like you didn't care for it. Another contradiction. Yeah. Come on now, don't you at least think it's a little funny how two conflicting things can be the same thing? Is there any rule that says a tear and a good laugh can't come from the same pony? No, there's not. But how can your family endure this, living so close to Ponyville, and still continuing tradition? All of you, in spite of everything you've lost, of everything you continue to lose, right next to everything you gain. Like a cup spilling over as water is poured into it, and yet I see so many of your family smiling. You just lost your friends. Doesn't that bother you at all? It was illogical. Magic tragedy crushed, it destroyed, but this family, they went against the model. No matter what happened, what tragedies they faced, they just plowed through and kept going with smiles on their faces. It made no sense, so why did I think this contradicted Master? Ma had a saying before Conductor Boss Discord made her a house-sized lion, fire-breathing lizard. Be thankful for the lemons, she'd say. She looked sad again and still smiled. I'd seen ponies force a smile on her master's magic before, but this was nothing like that. When life gives you lemons, don't throw them back, and don't try to burn life's house down with combustible lemon. You'll be left with nothing except your pride, what you can't eat, or you'll be hated by every pony who actually likes lemons, and you'll only get squashed by the skyscraper-sized angry mommy lemon as it falls on you anyway. A sound escapes my mouth. I feel the light again like I did before. What was that? Heh, so you're a filly after all. For a tick, I thought you might be a stallion, Big Boss Discord meant a filly. Pa's met 3 of those. I am not nor have ever been a stallion, I said matter-of-factly. I know. I was only joking. The point is, what point is there in stopping just 'cause things are bad? That's a quitter attitude, and it doesn't solve nothin'. No way, we ain't quitters. When life gives us lemons, we take 'em, thank life kindly, and keep right on going. Why did I feel like I was just locked in a room with Angry Pie for 5 minutes? Hey, wanna see something funny? I nodded for the distraction. Apple Pie reached under her bed and pulled a tiny cage. Inside was a hamster on a hamster reel, running in place. Meet Groundhog. Yeah, no, he's a hamster, but I didn't know that when I caught him munching on pebbles. Just look at him, always running in his wheel. The more he runs, the more he doesn't get nowhere. The only way for him to get anywhere is to take a tiny pebble and toss it precisely and carefully onto the wheel. Groundhog stopped and looked around, confused, but went off to the stone block to gnaw his teeth and to feed himself from his tray, to introduce something new to the loop. But Groundhog can't do it himself, where he just keeps going and going and going in circles. He's weird that way, but think it's also kind of funny. I didn't quite get the joke, but I would admit it was somewhat interesting. What happened next? Nothing of any true significance whatsoever. I merely yawned. Apple Pie invited me to spend the evening and we played a few board games. I am proud to declare I won most of them, and Apple Pie was amazingly good sport about it. Not that games matter, of course. She told me the ghost story of the headless horse, which I am sure I'd heard somewhere before. Maybe it was one of the spirits Apple Bloom had helped pass on. There were so many. Yes, ghosts and zombies exist. Why is that strange for me to say? I wasn't able to tell much about myself, of course, and I couldn't do any of the magic I really knew because I was in the form of an earth pony. But I was able to tell her a couple adventure stories, though I can't remember where I read them. Like I said, nothing of any true significance at all. After, I thought to ask the question I should have at the beginning, the key to all my questions. I heard you laughed at Discord's joke. Why? Because I thought it was funny. What, that's it? Yep. In spite of the violence, the elements of chaos must have rotten Ponyville? Yeah, they did, but I've learned that laughter is a precious gift around here. You need to take it when you can. Whether a joke is black, white, or plaid, you need to accept it for what it is. Besides, it's not like he was laughing at me. But he was joking about the loss you just suffered, so I heard. Yeah, he was. But there you go. Contradictions again. Maybe you laughed just to cover the pain? I asked, calmly and logically. She smiled and waved me off. Nah, I laughed to get rid of the pain, not pretend it isn't there. Big diff. And besides, everything was crazy, losing so many friends then and there. And Boss Disco being all kooky about it? Kinda crazy, ain't it? And why not laugh at all the crazy? That's what Mr. Discord always says. I was too close to slip. I was more tired than I thought. This place, her. I have to go. What? Where are you going? Home. Where's that? Private. Why? I don't want you to know. Why? 'Cause I don't want you to be upset. I don't feel like I meant that. I don't get it. Thank you for your time, Apple Pie, and thank you for speaking with me. It was a pleasure. I hit on my head twice and ran, using that earth pony body for all it was worth. What had I been feeling? How could I be feeling? I ran like 50 fluttercurls were after me. Out of that house, out of that rock farm, away from the oddly familiar pictures and ponies and strange feelings. I didn't even think to change back. I knocked a random pony over as I ran. I looked back, wondering who they were, but I had to keep running. This was supposed to make the curiosity go away. Why is it making it worse? I ran, keep running, run away, back, home. Why do I feel like running to the library? No, that's not my home, that's not me! Back to Master, where I belong. With Master, nothing needs to make sense. With Master, I don't have to feel. I gallop back to the castle in a blur. Back, get back! I see Derpy. I don't see the black girds. Must be regenerating. She started a new lap. She's a filly again. Too little for a cutie mark. I skid to a halt in front of her. She climbs over me and keeps going. I trot alongside her unbidden, like my body's on autopilot. I feel my mouth open.
Hey little filly, you have questions? Well, my name's Derpy Hooves, or Ditsu. I remember being called both. I never thought much about fate. Whether it exists or not, I still need to make my best choices, no matter what I'm going to do. I'm scared I'll lose Dinky before I finish. What I want more than anything is for all my family to be back together. I love my muffins more than anything. What makes me happy is muffins. I mean, muffins like the kind you bake. And bubbles. Bubbles are so pretty. What matters most are those you love. But what about you? This is funny. I've met 2 purple ponies now and— Hey, where are you going? Don't go into the bad castle, it's bad! Home. Knock over one of the dirt maids. She giggles at being more dirty herself now, laughing. Like Apple Pie, did Poison Apple laugh like her too? The dead don't matter! The dead want nothing! The dead are nothing! The dead have nothing! The dead are non-existent. They are non-factors. They have no influence. Once you're dead, you're dust. Nothing else. You might as well have never existed. Yes, that's it! I've run into that grave. It's not one of Angry Pie's adopted children. It's that unicorn's grave. Stupid ever-changing palace. Stupid ever-changing paths. Stupid ever-shifting rooms. This whole castle is a creature of chaos itself. The sun comes up over the grave of the elderly blue unicorn. She was so old. I don't remember how long it had been since everything began when I saw her. She was just so old. How could any pony live with a body as ancient as that? I hear Guru Fido's prayer ring in my head again, but my mind keeps trying to put a name I can't remember in Madoka's place. Why? The dead don't matter. Only Master's will and well-being matter. There's no name on her gravestone, but I recognize it all the same. While it shifted around, the tiny plot of grass it's on does not change shape. A contradiction, the kind Apple Pie would laugh at. Apple Pie, so many siblings, so many brothers and sisters, cousins and whatever. I wonder what it's like to have a brother. Why does that matter? The questions, the feelings, they won't stop. They keep coming. Go away! Master, make them stop! Leave me alone! I run away! I have to get away from it. It's wrong. It's unnatural. Room. Find room. Found room. Too tired to bother changing shape back to my real self. I'm too tired to get into bed. The potted plants. I'll just lay here next to them.
Such soft leaves, so comforting, so welcoming. Can Earth please talk to plants and know what they're feeling? I remember a tree being treated like loyalty by some pony. No, that's just silly. A silly pony.